Hi, my name's Dr. Wroblewski, and I am doing a low-fat avocado dip. And the reason why I picked this recipe is it comes from the Physicians Committee on Responsible Medicine. And what they advocate is a whole food, plant-based food style that incorporates low-fat options. And I wanted to demonstrate that there are dishes that you can have that could be considered transitional foods. Foods that you recognize from eating the way you normally eat, the standard American diet. And just an FYI, the standard American diet incorporates about 30 to 35% fat in an average day. So what we're advocating in a healthy lifestyle is to eat 10% or less of fats. So the dish we're going to be doing today is low-fat guacamole, and it incorporates an ingredient that will stretch the taste and the flavor of the avocado. We're going to be using drained peas. These are thawed, frozen peas that are thawed and rinsed and drained. So I'm going to put everything in a little mixer. I'm going to chop it, and I hope you'll try it. It's something that you can take to a party. Try to make it as close to the event as you can. There's lemon in the recipe that will help keep the avocado from turning, but it always is better when it's really fresh and right out of the preparation. So we're going to start with the 1 cup of the frozen peas that have been thawed and rinsed. And with our handy dandy measuring bowl, everything's all in the appropriate amounts. And then the recipe says a fourth of a teaspoon of salt, or to taste. I'm using mineral salt. I'm using the 1/4 cup kosher. A 1/4 teaspoon. If we used a 1/4 cup, our blood pressure would skyrocket, and that would not be good. Now, I am using chopped cilantro. When you can use fresh, it's always better than dried. If you use dried, you always use less than the amount required. If we were using fresh cilantro, you'd be using a tablespoon, but since we're using dried, I'm using 1/2 a tablespoon of the dried cilantro. And it adds a nice fresh flavor. It's a little grassy, but it's good. Then we've got a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin, and cumin is a wonderful, rich, smoky flavor and aromatic contribution. You'll notice it in a lot of dishes. It's quite lovely. Then 3 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice, and I'm going to say please use fresh. You can, if you have to, use the concentrate that you can buy at the store, but the fresh has a brightness to it and it adds a lot to the dish. Then the recipe calls for 1 green onion. I'm going to be honest, this is an impromptu swap out. I didn't have any green onions, but I did have dried green chives. So I'm going to be using that and hope that that doesn't make a huge difference in the recipe. 1 chopped clove and a clove of garlic. And garlic, when you can get it in anything, it's so good for you. It's good for your blood. It's good for how your body circulates. It's absolutely wonderful. Adds a wonderful punch to flavor. If you're not used to working with garlic, or you're used to working with garlic powder, maybe you want to start with smaller increments of garlic and work your way up. But it's something that I would encourage you to use as you get away from the standard American diet and move more toward whole food, plant-based nutrition. Spices and seasonings will take on a bigger role in your food and will be helpful in bringing out a breadth of flavors that you may not have encountered before. An addition I'm going to make to the recipe is 1 teaspoon of vegan Worcestershire sauce. Found this at the health food store, and there are no anchovies in it, so it offers, again, a depth and richness to flavor. I think you may enjoy it. And then a 1/2 cup of mild salsa. This is a great time saver, so you're not fiddling with chopping and dicing the tomatoes and the green peppers and the onions. All that work is done for you. I'm going to encourage you to be mindful of the salsa that you buy. I'm going to encourage you, like I will anytime you go to the store, please read your labels. Not all salsas are clean. They may add different flavorings. Sometimes they add high fructose corn syrup or sugar. So if you are being sensitive to your sugar intake, please read the label and make sure that it's pretty basic. Really all you need is tomatoes, cilantro, onions, garlic, peppers, those kind of things. So look for those in your recipe. Now let me talk to you about your avocado. Often I've bought avocados and they are as hard as a baseball. So a quicker way to get them ripe is to put them in a brown paper bag, and it's better if there are a few of them, and in a day or two it will release some gases and ripen the fruit very quickly. And I'm also going to show you, for me, seems to be one of the easiest ways to deal with an avocado. Just slice it down the middle, and you know an avocado is ripe when it gives gently in the flesh. So this one is, to my liking, perfectly ripe. It gives a little, but it springs back, and if it mushes too much, you know that it's gone south. And then just split it in half, and an easy way to get this pit out is to stab it with your knife, twist it, and it comes right off. You don't have to do this, but I just score the avocado before I scoop it out. And then just scoop it right out into your prep bowl. And then this one I'm just going to chunk up. And if you've made avocado without using this low-fat type of approach, you will have used a number of avocados and most likely olive oil in addition to the other ingredients that we put in here. So you'll notice there's no oil in here at all. The only fat you're going to get is the healthy fat from the avocado. And that really is all you need. You're cutting the overall amount of fat in the dish with the peas. You get the same color, you get a good consistency, you're upping your fiber through the green peas, and then you also get the flavor of the avocados. So, plug your ears, here we go. Voila. We have guacamole. So I will, and I forgot to add pepper, so I will do that after we transfer this to the bowl. And as you can see, this is green and it's not completely smooth. I wouldn't want it completely smooth. I'd want some texture to enjoy it. And then what we'll do is grind either 1/4 teaspoon or the amount of pepper to taste. I tend to be a pepperaholic, so my apologies to my dear husband who will be eating this also. And there you have it, folks. We have guacamole, low-fat guacamole, and it would be wonderful with beans and rice on a wrap, a taco, a lovely green salad as an addition. If you did a tofu scramble for breakfast that was southwestern with peppers and tomatoes, this would go well with your dish. So there we go. Low-fat option, something quick and easy. This was not, I hope, a daunting process. It didn't involve exotic ingredients. It's something that's available to you, and it's a quick swap out for standard American diet for a whole food, plant-based, better nutrition, better health, better you. Thank you.